Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, reviewer, good evening, and welcome to Current Issue. With me tonight, the Wayne County Treasurer, the friend of the community, Mr. Eric Sabree. Mr. Sabree, welcome again to MEA.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you.
Glad to be
Mr.
here.
Sabree, I've seen you a lot in a lot of events, you know, talking to the leader of the community, getting to understand their issue, getting to understand their culture, and honestly, that helped a lot to have a good bridges between the Middle Eastern community and your office. How you benefit from that and how you work with the community?
Communication is so important.
Yes.
We want people to know that they can come down to the Wayne County Treasurer's Office to get help,
Yes.
because they receive notices from us saying that you're behind in your taxes,
Yes.
and they get nervous and they're worried about losing their property. So we want to open up the lines of communication. That's what we've been doing, so that people feel comfortable, come down and get help. And it's been working.
Yes.
We had over the last 4 years a reduction in foreclosures by 86%.
You came from 50 pages or 150 pages to a few pages. And that's honestly, that's because of your personality. That's because of your leadership, open a dialogue, understanding the issue, understand the culture of the community, and trying to reach the community so you could solve their problem.
We have a lot of talented staff members. We have 93 people actually work in our office.
Wow, yeah.
And we have very, very hard-working, talented people. We have a lot of partners in the nonprofit community and all the municipalities in Wayne County. There's 43 municipalities in Wayne County. And we work with all the supervisors and mayors,
Yes.
and the treasurers in those communities. We give them a list of all the people in their community that's facing foreclosure every February 1st. We do it every year.
Mhm.
And they go out and help us spread the word. Let people know. Come down to the treasurer's office, get into a payment plan.
Yes.
If you're low income, you can get an extension. If
Mhm.
you're a veteran, you can come in with no down payment and get into a plan. All those things that we let people know. And it's working, and we're going to keep doing it. Our goal is 0 foreclosures for owner occupants. If you live in your house that you own,
Yes.
we want to get it down to 0. Last year, we had 505 owner occupants get foreclosed in Detroit.
Yes.
And outside of Detroit, all the other 42 communities, only 51 owner occupied.
Mhm.
So we want to get it down to 0.
Great.
We had 12 communities, and Wayne County had no foreclosures. And we had another 19 rather, that had 10 or less.
That's a great.
So-
You came a long way, honestly.
Come a long way.
Yes.
We come a long way,
Yeah.
and we want to keep it going in that direction.
Good. What's the percentage like business and residential?
Well,
Do you have some
the
business too?
The businesses is a very small percentage.
Very small. Yeah. I see.
Small percentage.
Yeah. I see.
The property values are going up now.
Mhm.
The economy is a little better,
Yes.
and the people they're hanging on to their properties,
Okay.
and that's good. And also, what happens if someone is in really bad situation, they owe a lot of back taxes. Maybe they had the water bills even came over to be part of the taxes, and if they know they can't pay it, the economy is good enough now where they can sell the building and get their money
I
and
see.
get the money out of it. So it's not as bad as it was 5 or 6 years ago
Mhm.
when you couldn't sell your property.
Oh, of course. Today,
The value, yeah.
anything you put in the market in Wayne County is sold
Sold.
within a few days.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Okay. Let's start from the start. When they receive their taxes, and sometimes people ignore it, or he doesn't have enough money to pay it, what's going to happen after that?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to go back to the first year that
Yes.
you become delinquent.
Uh-huh,
The-
yeah.
The very first bill you get for taxes is from your local municipality,
Yes.
your township or a city.
Mhm.
They say, that's the first year, and you pay it directly to them. You don't have anything to do with our office.
Yes.
You pay it to your city or township.
Okay.
If you don't pay it the first year, then it becomes delinquent. The cities and townships sends it over to the Wayne County
Is
Treasurer.
that the second year?
This becomes the first year of delinquency, but second year
Uh-huh.
for the taxpayer.
For the taxpayer.
So March 1st, we get a new list of all the delinquent taxes that weren't paid.
Okay.
So here's
And
what
what do you do at this time?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what we do. I'm going to tell you what happens. Like last year, on March 1st of 2019, we got the 2018 taxes
Yes.
that weren't paid. Well,
Okay.
this year on March 1st, at that time, the interest is 1% a month, by the way. That's 12% a year, first year.
1% a month.
1% a month.
Okay.
So now, March 1st of this year, which is coming up in less than 10 days
That's
from
right.
now, we're going to add interest retroactively to make it 18% for a year.
Wow.
So it goes back to
jump-
last year.
Yeah.
Instead of you paying the 12%, now you have paid 18% for the first year.
Okay.
Plus, we're going to put a lien on the property, and then we're going to charge you another $300, $250 or $300, or depending on how much you owe, it could be as high as $400 or $500 for title work and interest and penalties. So this now,
So
this
it's going
bill,
more deep into.
this
Yeah.
bill that you had,
Yes.
maybe $800 or $1,000 in back taxes,
Yes.
that came over here last March. Now this bill is up to $1,500.
Wow.
Because that's important to know, because if you can pay that first year of delinquency before the next year, before March 1st of the next year,
Mm-hmm.
like we're talking about March 1st of 2020
22. Yeah.
for those that were 18 taxes.
Yes.
If you can pay it, pay it. Because otherwise you're just throwing away money.
True.
That's for those that's not facing foreclosure. You just got a 1 year delinquent taxes. You owe your 2018s. You have and people say, "Oh, I got plenty of time. I can pay it next year. I'm not worried about it." But look what you're doing. You're giving away all this money that you don't have to.
Absolutely.
You have to lose. And
Yes.
if you can't pay it, that's one thing. But if you can pay it, you got to pay it all, because you're saving about $400. No, and you don't have a lien on your property. Because if you get a lien on the property, you got to go.
You cannot get
You
loan.
can't get a loan, you can't sell it,
mortgage,
you got to come back to our
Yes.
office, pay the
Yes.
taxes,
Mhm.
and then get the lien removed. So
Okay.
that's this important message to those who can pay the 2018 before March 1st. Yeah.
I know you're doing a lot of reaching to the community, that if you need help, we are there to help you.
Yes.
Okay. And that message, I think it's going to the community.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Middle Eastern community. Okay. They're reaching to this level. Okay. But they don't have enough money to pay. How could you help them if they
Okay.
come to you?
Here's what we do. We have a couple outreach events every year too. We work with Wayne County Community College.
Yes.
Now,
Good
we just
people.
had one, good people, yes. They open the doors to us, they don't charge anything.
Uh-huh.
Their hospitality is fantastic.
Yes.
We had one in Downriver 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
about 10 days ago, Saturday, the 20th, I think it was.
They put campaign advertising with us too.
Yeah, you had the 15th, we had one at the Downriver campus.
Yes.
We have one coming up on the Eastern campus, March 7th,
Good.
and another one March 14th downtown. This allows people to come on Saturdays,
Okay.
get free parking, don't have to take off work, and you
Okay.
come in and do anything you can do in our office. Get into a payment plan. We just can't accept cash.
Okay.
So we pay at the they can pay at the kiosk. We have 60 locations.
Mhm.
They can go get a money order from the bank, or sometimes the bookstore at the school is open, get a money order, and then get into a payment plan. So we got a couple events coming up.
Okay.
We also, here's what we have available.
And if you want, we can highlight the date of the
The
event
dates.
on the
Okay.
screen.
We'll do that. And you have 3 things we can do for you. One, if you're low income
Okay.
and you can't make monthly payments, we can do what we call a distressed owner occupant extension. An extension for you to give you till another year to pay your taxes. If you sign an affidavit, your income is low, you only owe that 1 year, like 2017 that we're foreclosing on right
Yes.
now. If you only owe 17, you don't know 16 or 15s, you only owe the 17s, you
Yes.
can get to an extension if your
Did
income
you
is low.
have to pay
You just have to
interest
pay it
or
off.
penalty?
You still have to pay interest,
Oh, I see.
1.5% per month
Okay.
on the unpaid balance.
Mhm.
But you have another year. You have until the end of the year to pay, but
Yes.
you have another year to stay out of foreclosure. Get yourself together financially. Okay, that's one. If you're low income. Number 2, we have we would call an IRSPA, interest reduction stipulated payment agreement. We
Okay.
abbreviated IRSPA.
Okay.
It's 6% interest for owner-occupied properties. For anyone who lives in the property, owns their property, same as the extension, you have to have a deed in your name and you have to live there. It brings be your principal residence.
So only 6%.
6% a year.
interest.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's good, of
And-
course,
and-
because you got 12 and 18.
Right now, you have 5 years to pay your debt off too. It goes for
Yes.
5 years. You know, usually our payment plans are 1 year at a time, but because you're owner occupied and you're in this special plan, you have 5 years at
I see.
6%. That's the best plan we have. The next plan is called just a regular stipulated payment agreement. That's for anybody else, landlords, business owners. You're still paying 18% a year,
Okay.
but you have to renew it every year. So you get into the payment plan, and you have to pay 60% by, I think it's May 13th now.
Okay.
And then once you get to 60% level, then you're okay. So you just pay it off by the rest of the year, Next year you come back in and get another payment plan if you need it.
Yes.
But those are the plans we have. But we got a special plan for those who are exempt that just passed the legislature
Okay.
called Pay As You Stay.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Yeah, explain
because
how it
this is
works.
important to a lot of
Yeah.
very low income
Very
people.
low income people. This
Yes.
will save them a lot. If you're exempt from taxes, which means you don't have to pay property taxes because of your income. Every city has a program.
Okay.
Some they're a little bit different, but every city has a program for those who are very low income. They have the standards, how much you have to make, how many people in the household, and all that. If you meet that qualification,
Okay.
find out. How do you find out? You go to the assessor's office
Okay.
of your city or
Other
township.
city.
Of your city.
Yes.
And you say you want to apply for an exemption
Okay.
because of your income. And they qualify you for an exemption. They say yes. They look at your paperwork. You fill it out. They say yes, you're exempt.
Okay.
And then if you're exempt and you also have some back taxes because you didn't know, maybe you weren't exempt last year or the year before, so you have some back taxes. This program will help you. And here's how the program works.
Sure.
Once you get your exemption and you're
Okay.
qualified, then our office will look at your taxable value of your property. We take your balance. We take 10% of the taxable value of your property. Say your property taxable value is $30,000,
Okay.
and that's usually about half of what it's worth. So it's $30,000 your taxable value. You take 10% of that, that's $3,000.
Wow.
So if your
That's-
balance is $5,000,
Yes.
$3,000 becomes your new balance.
That's
Because
very,
it's less than the balance.
I see.
So
And they could
10%.
make payment and this
And they
too?
can have 3 months. I mean, 3 years,
Wow.
36 months
Yes.
to pay off this new balance,
That's
and
great.
without any interest, penalties, or
Without-
fees.
Oh, wow. That's excellent, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of our viewer, okay? There's people that they in very, very low income, but there's a friend of family that they watch us.
Yes.
And they relay the same message to them.
Right.
You know, let's help you. Let's take the advantage of this, you know. And there's, you know, in every community, there is people like this with a very
Right.
low income.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look out, anyone you think is eligible, let them go qualify for the exemption. Because maybe they're not qualified this year, but they'll be qualified next year. They can
Yes.
still, it's a 3-year window, so anyone can get into it for 3 years. So
I
if they're
see.
not qualified this year, they can get it next year. We're being very, very careful that nobody that's eligible for this will get foreclosed. We're being very careful. So anyone
Yes.
with low income that has back taxes, they need to contact us. Contact our office because
Can they come to your office
Sure.
direct?
they can come to our office direct. We're sending out letters to we're going to the cities,
Okay.
getting the list of all the people who are exempt. Actually, we already know those who have back taxes, but we don't have the list from all the cities yet, who's exempt. So once we get that list, then we'll contact them. So come in our office, it'll be right around April 1st, we'll send letters out,
Mm-hmm.
and starting April 15th, we'll start doing the applications, but people don't have to worry about getting foreclosed. If they're eligible, they're not going to get foreclosed.
Okay.
Because our goal is to get all the individuals out of foreclosure, out of danger, if they're eligible for this program.
Great. Let's say after all that, and he didn't did anything. He ignored the invoice you sent him and all that.
Yeah.
How are you going to deal with them?
Well, what happens
What's the
is
finals?
the third year was 2017 taxes right now.
Yes.
If you get a bill for us and you owe 2017 taxes, you don't do anything, then you're probably going to get foreclosed.
Okay.
The treasurer is going to take title to your property,
Okay.
and then we're going to offer it to the cities, which is what the law requires us to do that first. If the city doesn't want it, then it's going to go into auction. And
Okay.
once it gets into auction, somebody can buy it, then, it's out of our hands. So it's very important. Let me tell you, Wally, this year we had one of our banks. I can't tell you who it is because they want to do their own PR announcement. They came in and they donated $300,000 to Wayne Metro, which is our
That's very
nonprofit,
nice.
to
Yeah.
help people
Mm-hmm.
who were about to lose their homes. And here's how they did it. So if you're about to lose your property, and most of these individuals were losing their property for $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah.
Maybe they got off the payment plan, they got kicked off the payment plan because they missed some payments, and they needed $1,500 to get back in. So what we did, a match. They said, if you come in with half the money or a third of the money or 40%, whatever it was,
Yeah.
they matched it. You know, you need 1,500.
That's
All I have
good.
is all I have is 900. Say,
Yeah.
okay, you bring in the 900, we'll push the 600. And now you're back, you're out of foreclosure. So we help 350 people.
But there's
get out
so
of
many
foreclosure.
ways that you could help them if they come to you.
If they come,
Yeah.
they come and help.
Yeah.
But these are small amounts of money. These are the ones that really trying to reach. If you owe $1,000, you're about to lose your house.
Phew.
Come
That's,
on, you got to come
the
and
roof
see
on
us.
top of your family. You know.
We'll work
Yeah.
with you.
Yes.
We work with you. You know what? It's cheaper, much cheaper. I'm talking about just the dollar and cents issue, not the
Yeah.
human side of it.
Yes.
Because the human side of it, you know, when people lose their homes,
Price.
it's traumatic.
Absolutely.
It's just the kids get out of school, they can't go back to school. People, you know what they do, Wally? They go to the homeless shelter. It costs money.
Mhm.
It costs the government money.
Yes.
They go to the emergency room 5 and 6 times. Why? Because they don't have anywhere to live.
Wow.
They go to jail.
No education. No.
They
you
go to
know,
jail.
I mean, yeah.
They don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
So this is what it costs the government money.
Yes.
The house becomes vacant, gets fire damaged, turns into a drug house. The grass is 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall.
You're
It just
absolutely
becomes a
right.
problem.
Yes.
Everybody pays.
Mhm.
So we're working with people to keep them in their homes. It's much better to keep them in the house, even if they're paying just a little money.
Yes.
Keep them there. Yeah, to stabilize the neighborhood, keep the family together, and also we're collecting a little money. And
Yes.
if you're out of the house, we're not collecting any money.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
And,
with
you
all
know.
the incentive you give them, honestly, nobody should be left out.
Nobody should be left.
Yeah.
This year, especially with all these programs we have,
Yes.
we shouldn't. Any owner-occupied property owner should be able to get out of foreclosure. Shouldn't be in foreclosure.
Okay. Mr. Sabree, how about if somebody, he's renting from a landlord and the landlord doesn't pay taxes?
That's an excellent
Okay,
question.
what he's going to do? I mean, the guy is paying the rent.
Excellent question.
Yeah.
We have, this has been a big issue. 2 years ago, the city of Detroit, we transfer properties to the city. We call it right of refusal. The city
Yes.
didn't get the chance. The state says you have to offer these to the municipalities. They pay the taxes. You
Mhm.
transfer the property to them. Okay. What we came up with, the city of Detroit came up with a program called Make It Home.
Yes.
Make It Home program. It's anybody who's a tenant in a house, they've been paying their rent. The landlord loses the property. The Make It Home program, the city buys the property, pays the taxes to the county treasurer,
Okay.
then they work with this tenant to make them into the homeowner.
Oh, that's
And
great.
it's helped
That's great.
over
Yeah.
800 families in the last
Mhm.
2 years become homeowners because
Yeah.
of they were tenants and the landlord didn't pay the taxes. So it's called Make It Home.
That's
So
that's
a-
excellent.
Excellent
honestly.
program. It's
Yes.
working. And
Yeah.
I think they worked in Detroit, and I think they did it in e-courses too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What other issue you have that
Well,
you want to relate
wanna-
the message to the community?
I want to
you
just let people know, that, especially in the Detroit area, Detroit's in the city, the issue of assessment. You've heard of this in the news about the city overassessed properties,
Yes.
and there's a big lawsuit now, it's a class action lawsuit about
Mhm.
that. People always want to ask me about that. They want to ask me what can they get their money back? What can we do? If
Okay.
we overcharge, we want our money back.
Okay, what they should do?
Well, right now, I want to explain. The assessment is done at the city.
Yes.
You know, that had nothing to do with the treasurer's office because we collect delinquent taxes. If you don't pay on time, then it comes to us. But how much you pay, we don't have anything to do with whether it's too high or too low or just right. It doesn't have anything to do with our office. We just collect the
City
taxes.
do that.
City does that at the
Yeah.
assessor's office.
Okay. If
And-
I don't agree with the city about the assessment, what
Then
should I do?
you go to challenge your assessment
Okay.
during the period. I think it's February 1st through 15th. You have to go down and challenge it. This is the city of
At the
Detroit.
city?
Yeah, every city has a little different time.
Okay.
It may not be exactly February 1st through 15th, but there's a period of time that you have to go down and challenge your assessment, go before the Board of Review, and then if you don't like that, you can still go to Lansing to the Michigan Tax Tribunal to even challenge it even further. But a lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people,
Yes.
are unsure what to do.
And they complain all the time,
Yeah.
my taxes is high, my taxes is high, but they don't do nothing about
But
it.
you got to challenge it.
Yes.
So the lawsuit that's out says that the city overassessed, the city didn't give people enough time to challenge.
Okay.
Sometimes notices came late. The treasurer foreclosed on properties that were overassessed. There were a lot of issues in the lawsuit. It's going to be settled in the courts.
Yeah.
So people ask me, when can I get my money back? What am I going to do? We're not doing anything because it's in the courts.
It's out of your
It's
hands.
out of
The
my
court
hands.
will
Like, the
decide,
court's
you
going to
know.
decide. I'm a city
Yes.
resident too. I'm interested what's
Yes.
going to happen too. But it's out of our hands. There's going to have to be some kind of settlement, I'm sure. I don't know what it's going to be. You know, it's just it's a difficult situation. People want their money. You overcharge. Anytime somebody overcharge you something, you want a refund, right?
Of course.
It's natural. It's natural. Anytime. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah. Mr. Sabree, a lot of people, they saying the treasurer collect the taxes and all that. Where that money goes?
You're asking all the good questions, Wally. I'm glad
I
you
hear
asked
it's
that.
from people, you know. So.
All the taxing authorities get the money. When you get your tax bill, usually on the bill, this is what you get from the city, it tells you where all the money goes. The zoo,
But
the
nobody
library.
read that.
Yeah, the library, Wayne
Yeah.
County Community College, Wayne County RISA, the school district, all of these county jails, parks, road, all of those entities get money. So
How about the employee, the worker of the city of Detroit or other city? and all that?
the city itself gets money.
Yes.
The school district gets money.
Okay.
The libraries all get money.
Mhm.
Wayne County Community College gets money. Anyone where you have a millage, they get their share. So
I
even
see.
when we collect the taxes, they all get distributed. That's part of our job as a treasurer, is doing the distribution of the funds, the settlements we call them, and monthly settlements we do. And also when we sell properties in the auction proceeds get distributed all to
So it
to
goes to
different entities.
treasurer, and treasurer distribute it
Distribute it. We
to
have
all
to.
those people, you know.
And we get a fee, some percentage, 3 or 4%. I think it's 4% for collecting and doing all this administrative work. So
I see.
in other words, for doing all the collecting the money, distributing the money, all that, we get a fee too. So we get money. Everybody gets some money out of it.
Yes.
But one of the things that's been said in the media and by some of the people in the community is that the treasurer, the county is getting all this money, and they're getting rich off of taxpayer, off the people who are losing their properties.
Yes.
But most of the time, until last year and the year before last, 1918, was the first year that we actually collected more money than was owed in delinquent taxes.
I see.
See, last year, I think 2018, we collected like $200,000 more than was owed. This year, about $500,000 more than what was
That's
owed.
great. That's
But
great
good.
because you are, you know,
But see,
shrinking the
we're shrinking the inventory.
Yes.
The people are paying more for the properties
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
there's fewer properties.
Yes.
So the supply and demand. So we actually made more. But think about all the years back, 10 years back. We never made any more money because some of the properties never sold. Some of the properties we made, say for instance, we sell a house that you lost.
Okay.
You lost it for $10,000 in back taxes, or you lost it for $1,000 in back taxes, whatever. And we sold it for $70,000. Everybody said, "Whoa, the county made $60,000,
That's right.
$69,000 off
Yes.
this property."
Uh-huh.
But overall, we didn't really make money because there were thousands of properties that sold for $500.
Yes.
You know, they sold for nothing, never
Mhm.
sold. So we actually lost money. We were losing money because of that. It's just for the last 2 years only it made some money. It's not a get-rich project, really. We're just trying to recoup as much money as we can
Yes.
from what people owe. Let me tell you right now. I looked Friday to see how much do we have in delinquent taxes as of today, almost the end of February,
Okay.
2020. $268 million is owed in delinquent taxes.
Wow.
That's how much total. So if you had $268 million, you could wipe out all delinquent taxes in Wayne County.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But out of that 268 million, 191 million is the base tax, and 77 million is interest and penalties and fees. Almost 29%.
An interest and fee.
29% in interest, penalties, and fees. Almost a third.
Yes.
Not quite a third, but almost a third. 29% of all the delinquent taxes that are owed today is interest, penalties, and fees. So if you can pay the bills before that interest stuff starts kicking in, you save a lot of money.
Absolutely.
That's where the money, that's what's going on. So almost a third of what's owed is interest, penalties, and fees. Because it's only 18% interest, Wally.
Yeah.
But when you go and look at over 3 years, you see
Absolutely.
what happens?
Yeah.
It's almost at 30%.
It's almost double his,
It's al-
you
yeah,
know,
it
the
is.
taxes.
It's almost
you know.
double. So
Yeah.
it's the interest, penalties, and fees that are really killing people. You can't
Yeah.
get out of it if it's 18%. That's why we worked hard to reduce the interest rate. Got a lot of good help from the mayor, county executive, a lot of the commissioners and city councils, and like everybody's working on the team. That's what makes it work.
Right.
And I'm getting support too from a lot of the treasurers around the state who really didn't have this issue before. 83 counties,
Yes.
and Wayne County was always like, off to the side. They didn't really pay attention necessarily what we were doing, but they're starting to have issues in their community too.
And we work with Oakland and
So,
Macomb.
all the counties now work together and trying to figure out better ways to help people, keep them out of foreclosure, and still collect some debt, still collect some money too. That's our job. So.
Give me a message to the Middle Eastern community. I mean, you have not just Detroit, you have Dearborn, Dearborn High, Ecorse. There's a lot of cities, Taylor, that a good percentage of Middle Eastern community there. And there are some of them, we could say some newcomer, some of them, they don't understand the system, how it works and all that. What's your message?
Well, we put out some of our literature in Arabic language. We have 2 Arabic-speaking people that work in our office, cashiers.
Right.
And anytime somebody comes down and has a language issue, they can let us know. We'll go get somebody in the office that can speak Arabic. And the outreach is, don't be afraid to come and see us. That's the main thing. Don't be embarrassed. A lot of people are very proud.
That's a problem
They're
too.
proud people.
Yes.
They don't want people to know that they're struggling. But we don't judge people in our office. And if anybody does, they're not supposed to. And if I find out that they're doing that, then they're going to have a problem for us.
Well,
we don't judge people because of their situation. Our job is to help them.
Absolutely.
So we're here to help them, and that's what we want to let the message know. I think people understand that. Those who have been down there, they see we're trying to help get them on the right track and make sure they're in the right type of payment plan, that they get all the information they need. So don't be afraid because your language issue. Don't be afraid because you're a proud person. You don't want people to know that you're struggling.
Yes.
It's everybody. Some people are paying more money for their medicine, Wally, than they're paying for their taxes and insurance, and a lot of issues going on.
A lot of issues, especially for the people with the low income and all that.
Right.
It's not just the taxes. It's a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
cost
other-
of living and and medical education. A lot of
People
them.
make mistakes. Like they'll pay the city bill and not pay us.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they say, we paid this bill. We thought we were paying the county. We paid the city. So now we got to go back to the city, take them out of foreclosure, because why would you pay the city the 2019 and not pay your 17s?
That's right.
Because
and with more interest rate.
and you got to lose your house.
Yes.
Why would you pay your current bill and not pay your old bill?
True.
So we know this goes on.
Yeah.
So we try to make sure.
Yeah.
But these people, main thing is communication.
Absolutely. And you're doing a great job with that, honestly.
Thank you.
By seeing you everywhere and communicate with all the people, and the most important is understand their issue and their culture. And when you understand that, you could deal with them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yes.
Some people don't use the computers. Some people don't want to do stuff online. They want to come in person. So we understand. We work
Okay.
with people.
Well, Mr. Sabree, honestly, I commend you for the great job you're doing. I could you speaking for yourself when there was 150, 200 pages to come to very few pages. That comes from a very hard work you and your administration doing.
Yeah.
So thank you on behalf of the whole community, not just the Middle Eastern community.
Thank you, Wally. We care. And can I give out our phone number?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to give out our phone number
Yes.
in the office and our email address. Our number is 313-224-5990. It's 313-224-5990. And our email address is taxinfo@waynecounty.com. That's taxinfo, TAXINFO @waynecounty.com.